Alright, so now we're going to do the child portion. And I see I'm wearing a gown because it states in our study guide that we have to wear a gown whenever we're dealing with the babies. So I grabbed a gown. So baby's sleeping right now, and this is the scenario how I feel it's going to go down. Like everything is going to go wrong when it comes to the kid for me. So I'm hoping that's wrong, but I'm going to play it out like that. So I'm going to enter. So hi, Mrs. Kermit. 1 second, I'm going to, or Mrs. Frog, 1 minute, I'm going to wash my hands. So wash my hands. Alright, so again, I'm Bobby Joe. I'm a student, Excelsior College student nurse, and this is my CE, Janice. I just got to do a couple things with Kermit today. And first thing I got to do is I got to check his armband. So let me check his armband here. So he's sleeping, so of course, right? Saying that he was fussy in the report and now he's sleeping. So Kermit the Frog, 10/17/2003, 10/17/2003, and we're in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so baby Kermit is sleeping now, even though he was fussy in report earlier. So I was be like, Mrs. Frog, does Kermit like to be called anything? Does he answer to anything better? We'll call him Kermie. Okay, so we'll call him Kermie. That'll make him more comfortable. I just got to do a couple little things with him today. We're going to listen to his stomach and see how his bowel sounds are. Make sure, because of the diarrhea, make sure his bowels are working, not overworking. And I'm going to check his skin because they did tell me about the rash on his bottom. We're going to check the rest of his skin and make sure that he doesn't have any other skin breakdown because he is dehydrated. That's why he was admitted. And we're going to, I want to see the rash on his bottom. We're going to clean it and put some new ointment on it just to protect him. And then we'll do something to make him more comfortable. What makes him comfortable the most? His blanket makes him comfortable if you wrap him up tightly, and then his pacifier. Oh, okay, well then we'll do that. So hopefully that'll make him more comfortable before we leave. I don't want to leave you with a fussy baby. He is sleeping right now, and I'm supposed to go up his arm and down the arm and check him out. But by messing with him, I think I'm going to anger him. So, Janice, would you mind if Would you mind greatly if I did my vitals first? Because it would be a lot easier to listen to an apical pulse on an infant as opposed to a screaming infant, you know, like a sleeping infant as opposed to a screaming infant. And I'm hoping I should be like, yes, that's fine. Okay, so we're gonna do that real quick. So we'll listen to his heart rate first because he's sleeping. And we'll get that. And then I'll do his blood pressure next. By then he'll be angry. Respirations I'll do right after the apical pulse. So the apical pulse will do the respirations because he'll be sleeping, and I'll be able to hear his breath sounds while I'm there, or I can just adjust and hear, I should say. Then I'll do his blood pressure and the temporal temperature, and then check his oxygen. So now he's angry. Like, oh, I'm so sorry, Kermie. I gotta do a couple little things with you. I gotta check you. Oh, I see you have an IV, so I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. Quick clean. I suppose at this time I'd be like, Mom, I'm gonna go wash my hands. I'm gonna put the handrail thing up, or you know, could you hold him down for a second, clean my hands real quick, and put my gloves on. Yeah, hi, Kermie. So I see you have an IV. I'm just gonna check it. I see no redness or edema. I don't see any kinks so far here. It's nice and secure. All right, very good. All right, Mom, would you just thank you very much and clean my hands again? All right, Kermie. Very good. So I'm gonna just check your tubing here. And we're going to go up, yep. No kinks. I don't see any bubbles. The tube seems to be intact. I see that you're on D550 with potassium, and it's infusing at 35, so I'm just going to write that down real quick. I know you're so angry. I'm going to feel so rushed if he's crying, you know? Write down. And it looks like you have about 150 milliliters left. Perfect. This is my clean zone, by the way. I had already asked if I had a clean zone. They said this is my clean zone. Alright, and then I'm gonna go up your arm some more. Oh, I see your clavicle. I'm gonna pinch your clavicle. Pinch it. And and it's taut, still staying pinched. So you are dehydrated. Alright, I'm gonna go down your other arm. I don't see any other IVs here. Check out your toesies. No toesies. Looking. And Mama, would you mind? Clean my hands again. Clean my hands. We're gonna put on gloves. I'm gonna check your. I'm gonna take off your diaper here for just a second because I see that you have. We're gonna ignore this little colostomy tube. I wanna see. Oh, hi. Yeah, just ignore this little tube thingy right here. Alright, I don't see any catheter, any drains, no tubes, so good, no oxygen, so good, okay, yeah, I'm gonna clean my hands. Alright, so, I do have to monitor whatever he puts in and takes out. So I'm going to, whenever you got to breastfeed, would you just let me know when it's time, and then I'll just more count the minutes that you're breastfeeding for. And then I want to thank you. I want to thank you both for letting me be a part of his care today. I think my 20-minute checks are done. I washed my hands. I ID'd the patient. I verified that he likes to be called Kermie, and I thanked him later, but I thanked him for allowing me to be a part of this care. I went up the one arm, seen that he's got an IV, put on gloves, checked to make sure there was no redness or edema, made sure it was secure, went around the tubing, make sure there was no bubbles, no kinks, tube is intact, up to his fluids, documented the fluids that he's on. He's on D5W with 20 milliequivalents of potassium going at 35 milliliters an hour on the pump. Then I came back down this arm, no IV in this arm. He's got no other drains, tubes, or oxygen on. And while I was there, I checked his skin turgor. So I think my checks are done. So now I'm going to move on to, I think we'll start with so I think we're going to start with the abdominal assessment. I know you're so angry. Yes, you are. This diaper's so big on him. I'm just going to flip it down a little bit so it looks. Alright, so the diaper wasn't wet when I checked it a minute ago, so he doesn't have to pee just yet. I mean, he's screaming and rivaling, so I don't know if he's in pain or if he's just really ticked off that I'm touching him. I'm going to try to position him the best we can. We'll have Mom hold him, like maybe in her lap like this, kind of flat like this. I'll have Mom hold him, and then first I'm going to look at his belly. I don't see any bruising, and it's not distended, or it's nice and flat. I guess babies' bellies are always kind of distended a little bit. So we'll say it's distended a little bit. But he's a baby. Convex. We'll say it's convex. His stomach's convex. Now I'm going to listen. So I hear active sounds like within the first, as soon as I put the stethoscope on. So active on that side, active on that side, active there, active there. So he's got active bowel sounds. that part's good. Now I'm just gonna feel. Let's just feel. So I'm just gonna lightly palpate in all the quadrants, and I don't feel any resistance. He's still screaming and crying, so I don't know if he's in pain or if he's just really angry because of stranger danger. So by charting, I would put that his stomach is convexed. It's not distended so much as it is convexed. It's not distended, it's convex appearance, kind of, rounded. I felt no resistance. He didn't appear to grimace when I palpated, so I do not believe there is any tenderness, but that's unable to assess due to him being nonverbal, and his sounds are active in all 4 quadrants. I'm going to move on to his skin. So, Mom, do you know why we're checking over his skin? Well, we're checking it over because with him being dehydrated, his skin doesn't have the elasticity that it should have, so his skin could break down more and bonier spots. Adults, it's normally like the butt and the heels. For babies, it's the occipital. The occipital. I actually should check the mucous membrane. I didn't check the mucous membrane, so I might try to check. I'm gonna have to check that out. That's why we are going to check his skin. Do you understand why we're checking his skin? Yeah, he hasn't been drinking a lot, and his diarrhea, his skin is breaking down. And wash my hands. Alright, so we're going to check his skin. So his heels are good. Yeah, I know you're angry, buddy. He's got a little redness right here on his head. That's not too bad. It's fine. No, it's still a little inverted. Check out the diaper here. We're gonna check out his butt. And now his diaper's wet, probably from me waking him up. So he's got the large rash on his butt, like they said. And we'll say rash in the groin area. So we are going to put this aside for one quick second, because we are going to have to weigh this. What do we do with this new diaper? I had a new diaper for him. Here it is. Don't walk away from your baby. We'll wash his butt with soapy water and get it all cleaned up, and then reapply ABD ointment. So we'll get him all tucked and squared away. I'm not going to use this one. Yeah, I'm going to use this one. Alright, yeah, that's better, isn't it, Kermie? Very good. Very good. Yeah, we'll wrap you up real quick. Alright, wash your hands. Alright, I just want to document this real quick. So for his skin, we checked his occipital, and then his buttocks. I'm going to say it's coccyx, because it's his buttocks, that's bony prominences. So they were pretty moist. See any edema. Temp was cool. Integrity was still intact, but it's getting really red and raw in his butt. So interventions, we're going to we're gonna try to kind of roll him over, prop him up on his side a little bit when we lay him back down, and we already put some cream on his bottom. For his wound care, I had already washed his bottom when I changed his diaper and put the A&D ointment on there. So now it's just comfort management. Mom says that he likes to be wrapped up tightly, and then he likes to have his pacifier. So pacifier. So he's now nice and comfortable. I'm going to, Mom says she wants to breastfeed him real quick, so I'm going to pass him over to her, and she's going to breastfeed. And while she's breastfeeding, I think I'll chart. Now, I have this dirty diaper here too. And the way you want to, you're going to want to weigh this. So they said that you want to zero out the scale and you want to weigh a dry diaper. So you'll zero out the scale and you weigh the dry diaper. And then you'll zero out the scale with the dry diaper on it. So that way it'll weigh all of this. So that way whatever's left in the dirty diaper is what the weight will be. And then weigh the wet diaper. You're going to put a paper towel down on the scale and you'll put the dirty diaper on top of it. And then for every gram, it's a milliliter of fluid. So I will put that in my thing that he had. Output, diaper, and we'll say it was 3 grams, so we'll say 3 mLs. Seems like a lot. Maybe not. The mom's breastfeeding, so I'm going to do my charting. So I'm going to write down for, like I said, the abdominal assessment. You know, he didn't have to pee, and you couldn't tell if he was in pain because he was screaming and crying. So I positioned him. Mom helped me position him. We looked around his bellies. Not so much distended as convex, because all babies have little chubby bellies. I listened, and all 4 quadrants had bowel sounds, and I felt around, and I didn't see him grimacing when I was palpating, but he obviously didn't like me touching him, so he was screaming. So, but I didn't feel any resistance. So my charting for abdominal, it wants you to chart the appearance. So it appeared skin was intact, it was convexed, or contour, I guess that would be convexed. So no dressings and no discoloration for the appearance. The contour of his stomach was convexed. His bowel sounds were active in all 4 quadrants. Tenderness, I did not notice any grimacing upon palpation, but patient is nonverbal. And no resistance noted. For his skin, I instructed Mom why we are checking his skin and why it's important to change his diaper and like turn him from side to side and stuff like that, because, you know, keep him off of those bony prominences. She said she understood. So his temperature was normal. His integrity of the skin is still intact, although he's very red on his buttocks. His skin is very moist on his buttocks. I didn't see any edema, so the color changes was the redness on the butt. And the 2 interventions that I did, because you have to do 2 interventions, was we had to assess 2 different areas that are at risk. So I checked his occipital, the back of his head, since he's laying flat, and then I checked his coccyx area because of the rash and moisture on his butt. And the interventions we did is, I'm going to have Mom kind of like, we're going to prop him up on his side for a little bit to take the pressure off of this when she's done breastfeeding him, and we already put cream on the bottom, on his bottom. Wound. So wound care, we already washed his butt with soap and water, and we applied the ABD ointment, which was also part of my skin management. And it's not like your typical wound thing, I didn't see any drainage or secretions. but I would probably still chart that they have like blanchable redness to the buttocks. And what I did, so I washed it with warm soapy water and I applied A&D ointment. The location is on his buttocks. He didn't appear to be in any pain or discomfort while I did it. No drainage and the color was red. And then for comfort, we wrapped him up in a blanket tightly and gave him a pacifier because that's what Mom said that he did. But I didn't do his flax scale, I guess. What's his flax scale here? So face, no particular expression. So I guess I would have filled that out first so I know exactly what his flax scale was, his pain scale was for his comfort measure. Do those two things and then reassess. So that probably would have been a fail because I didn't quite do that the way I was supposed to. But I haven't quite turned this in yet, so I guess I could say, oh, I didn't do his flax scale. I really need to do that. So let's see. No particular expression or smile. Normal. We'll say he's crying. And so I'd give him like a, I don't know, like 3. I guess I give him a 3. And then afterwards he's gonna be a 0, so because he's gonna be very happy. He's gonna be like in a milk coma after Mama feeds him. So Mama fed him for 20 minutes, so I'm gonna add that to my fluid management sheet. So fluid intake, breast milk. Now we don't know how much he put in, so I was told to do minutes, so I don't know if that's correct. I guess that's a question I need to ask. So fluid management, Mom breastfed infant for 20 minutes, unknown amount, had 1 soiled diaper, I guess I need to work on my charting too. Once you start walking through the steps, you realize how much you are forgetting to do. Okay, so baby's all good. I mean, the fluids are almost out because I've been in here for about an hour now, and so I'm probably just gonna let the nurse know that they're almost out of fluids and give like a little verbal report. But that's my pediatric patient. So I already know I probably would have failed one in a couple different spots. I definitely need to practice some more. Let me know what you guys think. At least it'll give you like an idea, a basis to go off of.